Okay guys, now what we're going to try to do is just delete our notes. Let me move my window over. The reason is, well, I suppose we could edit them. You might want to. So let's do this. Let's add the check or something. We'll just edit it and the X will delete it. So first things first is we need to go to our template, and I'm going to close or shrink this window over. Okay, so the to-do has a complete state, but notes don't really have a complete state. They're just going to be notes. And it looks like I think we'll just use icon OK. So I'll copy that, and down here I'll just make another line, and I'll just paste icon OK. And let's see where the delete is. Let me copy that, and I'll paste it there. Okay, so I just copied the to-do, and I just got to change this to note ID, change this to note delete, and this href will have to be delete note. Now it looks like I didn't get the whole gist of the edit going on, so I'm just going to copy this guy here, and instead of this line we'll say boom. And this is going to be note update. Data ID will be note ID. And let's see, data completed, we don't need that. href, we're actually not going to use this just yet because edit. Let me move this on my screen so hopefully you can see it all. Okay, so for the edit, it's note update, and we just have the note ID there. It's not going to go anywhere because it's actually got to display in edit form. So I'm going to change this to note edit. No, let's just leave it to note up. I don't like inconsistency, so I'll change it to note update display. It's only going to display the little form for us. Where is it? There we go. So this will delete and this will edit. Okay. So the first thing is, before I forget, I want to make sure this has an action, the note update display. So let's open our events.js file, and I'm going to make a new function and call this update note display, because it's kind of like two steps. Let me slide this bar over, and update note, let's do one and call this var update note display equals function. Okay, and this is going to be our trigger. So that was a class, so when that class is clicked, we're going to get the data ID. So dot note update display dot click function e, and we'll say e dot prevent default, so it doesn't try to go to a link. And I'll say note ID equals this dot data ID. Okay, and what we're actually going to want to do is make a template form. So let's go to our template.js, and here I will say this dot note edit equals function. Let's give it an object parameter. Var output equals da 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 da, return output. Okay, and this doesn't look tabbed over totally. I guess it is. Okay, so what we want is There's a lot of things we could do, honestly. Let's first make a cancel button. So ahref equals nothing. Ahref goes nowhere. Class equals note edit cancel. Okay, and let's make another one, and we'll call this save. And we'll put these in little output variables. We're going to want a text area, and we're going to want an input type equals text. Name will be name. Name will be title, and text area will be name equals content. Okay. Now I have the option to make this a form, and my question is, do I want to do that? And that's something I have to think about. So let's go back a second. I know this code isn't right there. We're gonna load the template. So let's say template dot note edit note ID. We're not going to pass an object in, we'll just pass in the note ID. I'll say var output, and we are going to place this. Let's see, if we look at our template code, let's give it a little spot right down here. We'll say output plus equals div class equals note edit container. Okay, so the note edit container is where we're going to place it. Okay, this will update the note display. Let me make this a var. And then for this guy here, we'll say output plus equals, add this to each one of these lines. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and this is actually just going to be the note ID here. Okay, and what I want to do is I think I'm going to wrap this in a form. I think it'll be easier. Output plus equals, and I'll say form method equals post action equals, we'll get to that, and yeah, that'll be good. And then let's make our closing form tag like that. And instead of this being an anchor tag, let's do it a submit button. So I'll say input type equals submit, and we'll get rid of this and just say value equals save. I know this is might be kind of difficult if you're not fluent in JavaScript, but maybe it'll help if you pause the video and kind of think about what's happening here. I'll duplicate this and just cut that. I can get rid of the class on this submit, and this value will be cancel, this one will be save. Okay, so for the action, if I recall, I believe it's API. Where did we put those? Those are under the dashboard. API get to do. This will be API slash, I believe it was update to do, but let's be sure in the API PHP update note. Update note. So our first goal is to have the form display when something happens, and I haven't thoroughly gone through all the steps, so our click isn't doing anything. So let's make sure. I'll inspect this and note update display, and in the event.js, let's make sure it's getting called at the top. Note update note display here, and this is actually going to have to be live if I'm not mistaken. And to make sure it's getting called, people hate when I do this, but it's just the laziest man's way to do it, is an alert. They always tell me to console log, but hey, I just want the alerts. So we got one and nothing else. No method live. Oops, we must be in a later version of jQuery. So let's check our let's look for .on, body.on click to do update. So we'll change this to body.on click, like that. The newer jQuery uses on, so hopefully this will behave. Edit, we get an alert of 2 and it displays everything there, which we don't want at all. Let's make sure we get that right. So this goes to the no edit container, and in our template, let's look at the container right here, and I think we could just give this an ID and make our lives a lot easier. Div ID will be no edit container underscore plus plus object dot note ID. Okay, that has to be ID. And when we target this, we're going to target the no edit container plus note ID. Okay. And let's go ahead and see what happens. Edit, cool. And then for the cancel, note cancel, we'll say right in the same method, we'll say body.on click note edit cancel function e.prevent default, and we're going to say this dot parents div.html to nothing, because we're dynamically adding and then we want to dynamically remove, not just show and hide. So edit, cancel, and that removed everything. Did I type that wrong? Div.parent? So let me see if I got that right. Cancel. What is the parent name in the template? The parent name is I see. So let me give this a class equals note edit container, and we'll just parent dot no edit container. Okay, let's try again. And edit, cancel, edit, cancel, edit, edit, cancel, cancel. Okay, that works. And before this video gets too long, we're going to have to split this up into a couple of videos. But this gets the editing form ready.